Welcome to Happy Pupcast. I'm your host, Gabby Sloan, and today we have Cedar Lake Doodles. Thank you so much for being here and chatting with us about your puppies and what you breed and everything like that. It's exhilarating to have you here. So tell me a little bit more about yourself and where you're at.
So, Amy Keller, Cedar Lake Doodles. We are in Slinger, Wisconsin. We do Goldendoodles, we do Doodles. Kind of the love of my life here.
I love them. So no more sheepadoodles.
No, we quit doing sheepadoodles a few years ago. Temperaments were not the best.
And it's
Yeah.
awesome that you stand behind your puppies where you tried it and you're like, you know what? Not for me. And instead of saying,
Yep.
I have to keep breeding this, you were like, all right, we're cutting it out. It's not for us. What is it like from start to finish, from the second they give birth, from little babies all the way up to still babies, but just a little bit older when they go home around 7 weeks or so?
We do daily weights on all the pups the first 2 weeks, every single day, because that's kind of the critical time. And then once a week until they go home, full deworming process, even when the moms are pregnant already, all the way through 2, 4, 6 weeks. We start potty training about 3 weeks.
Oh,
We do like a grade system, start them very young, get them started like on food about 4 weeks. And then we usually have them pretty weaned by about 5 weeks. And that's when we start our outside potty training, no matter the weather. So Wisconsin, a little tough, but we do
yes.
it.
I saw those little nuggets outside. They were so cute running around in the
Oh
snow.
yeah. They actually don't mind it though, unless it's really cold. And then we do work on like some recall. We want them to be able to, follow us in and out. We do work on like sit and things like that before they go home, just so
Oh,
they learn that they have to do something for a treat. Then we do our picking process, usually about 5 to 6 weeks old, because that's when their personalities start to come out. And then they go home at like 7 weeks.
tell me a little bit more. Like, what do you do with the parents? Do they get tested or anything like that?
We do everything we can do possibly for testing. Ortho for all the parents includes hips, elbows. We do heart. We do patella. We do eyes. And then full DNA, anything there's possibly to test for each breed. We do that as well. Coat testing, all of it.
Tell me what generations you also breed. Are you doing any F1s, meaning like half golden, half poodle, or anything like that? Or are you trying to move more towards multi-generational?
We've moved mostly to multi-generational. They're a little bit more predictable for coats. So it's mostly doodle to doodle, which is, way better for people that have allergies, less shedding, all the things that people want in a doodle. And then we can kind of gauge like the temperaments of the parents.
I'm sure it also provides a little bit more consistency with weight. And then I also notice temperament wise, the multi gens are just more even in terms of I can be wild or I cannot be wild. Like they tend to have a narrower field when they're multi generational. And then it must be nice for you because you don't have to worry so much about having a 50-pound mini.
Yep, that happened, years ago. We had a couple where completely outliers, like, oh, okay. But then once you start to narrow that down a few generations, it's way more predictable.
For sizes too. You also seem to breed, or at least from what I've seen, breeds really, really small to also really, really big. Are you still in that genre or has it changed a little bit?
I guess our biggest size is probably mini. The next two would be like petite or a medium are our next popular. And then standards we've kind of shied away from. They're not as popular anymore, but we do probably at least one litter a year, only because those are our service dogs therapy lines. There's always, people that want them for that reason, the bigger ones. So there's one, well, actually two lines that we have that have produced like the most service dogs and therapy lines. So we're trying to keep at least that going.
I remember I believe it was like an English cream golden doodle that I trained about 4 years ago. And that puppy from you guys was just the best one. I think I reached out and told you that. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's our service dog line.
Yeah. It's from one of our original parents.
Well, I'm glad that you're still able to at least keep the lines going, especially when they're able to be therapeutic and service dogs. Like that's really, really special.
Yeah, so that line is, yeah, it's pretty special. We've done a lot of dogs for like autistic children where they
Mhm.
go through a couple years of training to be like their solo dog, diabetic alert dogs, seizure alert dogs, things like that. And then just your average, we need a good therapy dog. Those are great. Makes our job like not even a job.
For your puppies, what breeds are you breeding nowadays? Because I know you do golden doodles, Bernedoodles, and then are you still in the double doodles as well?
Yeah, I think I just have one girl left. She's half Australian Labradoodle and half Goldendoodle. We just bred her actually to a Goldendoodle. So there'll be a little bit of Australian Labradoodle in there, mostly Goldendoodle. She's super laid back. So we're just dying to see her first litter.
I have to tell you that one of my fondest memories was one time I had, I think, one of Veda's puppies. It was a Bernedoodle, and Desiree had to meet me outside of Milwaukee. Like it was so striking to me how that puppy, even though she was still like 9 weeks old at the time, uh, and she was going home from training, that puppy just went like over the moon, happy, squirming, let me see Desiree. I have to go to her. And just, I mean, I've never seen a puppy be so excited to see somebody. And everyone always thinks that their puppies forget. Well, they remember me when they come back from training. They don't, they always say that. But man, even at that young age, you can
Yeah.
tell you guys spend a lot of time with them because of how
Yeah.
excited she was.
Well, we have a few that come back for like grooming and stuff too.
Yeah.
And they get so excited once they see us. So that always makes us feel good too. Like, oh, you totally remember us.
You have any puppies you want to show us?
Sure, they're right behind me. So
Yeah.
that's kind of why I chose to do it out here so you could see some of these guys.
Aw, perfect. Oh,
I
how
know.
old is that little baby?
For 4.5 weeks.
Oh, beautiful markings, the cutest expression in the face. I mean, just look at that. Like, ah,
Yeah, the temperaments on these guys too is so sweet. They should almost be into that service dog kind of category.
yeah.
Super calm, very smart. Kind of shocked at how smart they are because everybody always says the Bernese kind of choose to do what they want. They're stubborn. But I don't find that with these guys at all, just the opposite. So I don't know.
I think Bernedoodles definitely are a little bit more into the, hey, let's go do something fun puppies. I mean, they love to cuddle too. I think they're great emotional support pups and things like that. But Bernedoodles, like when we get a Bernedoodle here to train, I get very excited. Do you have anybody else you want to show us?
This one's my favorite.
That blaze on that face.
And she loves to be cuddled. She's so fun already.
How
They're a
big
good
are they going to
size.
be full size?
These guys are like 30 to 35 pounds.
I love how the Bernedoodles got a little bit more bone to them, a little bit more meat. I think that helps them be really good around kids because they can kind of handle whatever's thrown at them because they're a little bit more sturdy.
Yeah, they're definitely sturdier for sure. Yeah. You
Oh,
want to stay here? You want to hang with me?
I
Okay.
think she does.
She's going to hang with me.
If somebody wants to get onto a list and get one of your puppies, what is the best way to reach out, contact you, and get that process started?
Phone calls usually the easiest. Then we can just talk right away. But even just initiate with an email or a text is fine. Or just fill out an application too, because that starts the process anyway. And then I still have to call you and go through all that.
And then do you guys just do like a master list for everything, or do you like have to
Yep.
pick Bernedoodle, Goldendoodle?
I have a master list for both, one for Goldendoodles and one for Bernedoodles, but you can be on both.
Oh, okay.
Because some people aren't quite decided yet, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So just put them on both lists.
That's awesome to hear that it's so easy to get in touch with you because, in this day and age, there, some people don't want to get on the phone to talk to you about their puppies.
It's so much easier just to have a phone call, and just a conversation about what they're looking for because everything gets misinterpreted through
Mm.
email and text. I mean, it's a great way to reach out to start. I like to know who's going to get our puppies, so a good conversation is kind of warranted.
And that was the other thing that struck me about your place is you're very organized. When the puppy pickup process, when I've been there and everything, you can even see how, the shelves are lined up and how you have the packet and everything's put together. And man, it was so nice to see because it's not like I would say some people may out there think that they're going to be coming to get their puppy, but it's not like the nicest of places, and you have a really really nice place there.
Yeah, we have quite the routine, literally down to a T. And everything is insanely organized, but you kind of have to be. I can't imagine not being organized and keeping track of the customers and the puppies and everything's documented.
Yeah.
And it helps that Desiree is so organized as well. And my other helpers are really great too, but I mean, she's like a godsend.
Well, we're coming up to the end of this here. Is there anything you wanted to touch upon or share that we haven't really gone over yet?
We're just trying to do everything right here. That's our goal. Super healthy, great temperaments.
Mhm.
Strive just to make everybody's life better. Everybody needs a dog.
I think so. 100% or two.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have one of your golden doodle babies here right now, and she's fabulous. Just a
Oh,
dot.
that's right. You got a little. Oh, do you have two there now?
That other puppy will be coming, I think, early next week.
Okay.
So the siblings will get to reunite. So we'll see if they're like, oh, sister. There was a little sibling rivalry there, or if they're just like,
Oh, that's funny.
awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this with us and going over everything that you do because it's really important to me to really help spread that information to others to really get them going on getting a really nice puppy. You guys have really great puppies there, and it's hard to find that, especially when there's so many options of where to go. Could you please share your website so that way people can find you?
So, website is cedarlakedoodles.com. Facebook and Instagram are both just Cedar Lake Doodles and TikTok too.
Well, thank you so much for sharing those little girls with us. We'll have to do this again and we'll chat about more breeding things.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah,
We
thank
love it.
you. Bye, little
So.
girl.